It's 11 o'clock. 1-800-GOT-JUNK for home or office junk removal. We make junk disappear.
I'm Clodagh McGowan with the New York 1 Minute.
Yet again, it always seems time and time this TV station just keeps ignoring us. What else is it to be surprised from Channel 1, huh? Yeah, I mean, if Pine Power LI can call News 12 Channel 12, I mean, I should be able to have every right as a New York City resident just call this channel Channel 1, because, you know, it's not even worth my time ranting or raving, and what's getting to be annoying is that they're not even going to bother covering the transition of Eric Adams becoming mayor next week. That's what I'm worried about, because I want to hear what my new mayor is going to say next week. You know, I mean, what does he have to deal with the crime? You know, how is he going to get out of the Omicron surge? Is he going to support congestion pricing? I mean, so many questions that I want answered by this new mayor, and, you know, is New York 1 going to care about those questions? No, they're not. They won't. So, obviously, it's bad enough that I get furloughed from my hospital job, and now I have to talk about this nonsense that they just don't want to bother to cover. So we will get to the major important news that's non-COVID related that New York 1 just seemed to forgot to cover. So we're going to lead off with this story. Long Island man killed in Clearview Expressway collision in Bayside. And I first found this out from the Bayside Queens Facebook group. We do have a picture of what it looked like on the scene. So let's read this article. Long Island man was killed in a collision as he tried to navigate an exit ramp of the Clearview Expressway in Bayside on Christmas Eve. Jae-Soo Kim of Williston Park was traveling northbound on the Clearview Expressway as he took the exit ramp to Willets Point Boulevard when his 2013 Toyota Corolla sideswiped a 2012 Kia Sorento that was stopped on the exit ramp. His vehicle then struck the concrete barrier wall head-on before it came to a stop, according to the NYPD. Police from the 109 precinct in Flushing responded to a 911 call of a motor vehicle collision at about 10:34 p.m. on Christmas Eve. Upon arrival, they found Kim with severe trauma to the body. EMS transported the victim to Booth Memorial Medical Center in Flushing, where he was pronounced dead. The 43-year-old man who was driving the Kia and his passenger, a 35-year-old woman, sustained minor injuries and were taken to Jamaica Hospital Medical Center in stable condition. The investigation is ongoing by the Highway Collision Investigation Squad. So, an awful accident that New York 1 just didn't seem to bother, and you want proof on their website, we'll just take a look right now. So if you go to Queens, for an example, you're not going to find it on their website. You just won't. You just won't. All they're focusing on is the virus, and there actually is a crime-related story to COVID that we are going to talk about that involved disorderly patrons in a Burger King in Brooklyn. But all right, so at least the good news is they did spend 2.5 minutes talking about the Adams administration, because again, that's important. We need to know what the new administration is going to look like, and I will watch that on my own time. But, you know, look at this. Commuters not dramatically impacted by reduced service. I mean, I'm going to have to read that article and debunk that. There you go. Nothing about it on the website. Why aren't I surprised? Just check one more time. See, public safety? Nothing. Nothing. I mean, this is not updated news. So again, we do have an eyewitness picture of this awful accident, and I believe this picture was posted Sunday, and believe it or not, this vehicle was left behind on Christmas. Look at that. So this vehicle was there on Saturday, and obviously I'm reading it a few days late because obviously it's past Christmas and this news first broke on Sunday. I'm first reporting about it tonight because I would think, hey, maybe the media will report it. No other media outlet even covered this, other than the Queen's Courier. And they should have used this picture. But no, they don't want to. They don't want to. I don't know if one person claimed it was suicide. Look, this was an accident. I mean, the driver probably was following his GPS. Remember, he was coming from Long Island. So maybe he panicked. Maybe he meant to take the Bronx Neck Bridge. I don't know. I mean, these things happen. But just an awful, awful accident, you know. Like, we can't even see the second vehicle, but we do have a video from another eyewitness, so let's see what this video is. You know, here we go. I'm going to play it right now. And as you can see, oh, that's the Toyota. Ah. Yeah. That is the Toyota, but we don't see the Kia involved. Where's the Kia? I did have to mute the audio. I apologize for that because I don't want to get claimed for copyright. I don't want a DMCA filed against me, or somebody claims I get demonetized again, which happens too many times in this channel, it seems. But once again, you're not going to hear about this on NY1. You're only going to hear about it from the Queen's Courier and me. I do have to leave my Facebook tab open for something I'm going to finish up at the end that Andrew Lee suggested I should look into, who is a, I guess a regular contributor to this YouTube channel, if you want to call him that now. But I'm just going to show you what this accident, the area of this accident, because unfortunately, I know this area very well. Alright, so let's see if we can pull up what the ramp looks like on Google Street View. Okay, I think I can pull it up. Okay, so here's a most recent view of it. Yeah, because this is the last exit in Queens before you hit the Bronx Neck Bridge. So, again, I'm just assuming that this driver was probably, again, he was from out of town. He was from Long Island. So he probably got confused. Probably meant to take the Bronx Neck Bridge. Or, you know what probably happened? Here's another theory I have, possibly. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. This is what I wanted to show you. Right up here. So, I just wish more people would look at Google Street View before they even plan a trip. Because in these cases, it does help. So as you can see here, another theory probably could have been the driver was probably trying to take this ramp over here. You see this ramp over here? This is Bell Boulevard. That's Fort Taunton, okay? The driver probably panicked, probably realized he missed his turn, and he smacked into the wall. But remember, this is a hill. I don't know, maybe his brakes gave out. Maybe his brakes weren't working. I don't know. Because if you go pretty fast, I mean, remember, the speed limit on the Bronx Neck Bridge is 45 miles an hour. So, also, you got to account that. Alright, so that's one thing we have to talk about. We also have to talk about this, because this is another disturbing story that NY1 ignored tonight. Robber dragged 85-year-old woman from an elevator in the Bronx. So, where was NY1? They should have been covering this. Alright, this is a big deal. Alright, the accident on the Clearview is one thing. Okay, that could have been a 30-second mention. But this should have at least been a 90-second story. You know, a reporter should have been sent to the Bronx. A robber dragged an 85-year-old woman from a Bronx elevator, pulling hard enough that the woman slammed into a wall before she fell to the ground, video shows. The attacker grabbed the woman's purse inside of a residential building near East 149th Street and Morris Avenue on Sunday afternoon. The woman suffered pain to her hip in the robbery. She was taken to a local area hospital for treatment. Police from the Crime Stoppers unit are asking the public's help for identifying the attacker. Surveillance video shows the suspect in dark clothing and a blue vest. So, let's just show you this picture. Okay, so I'll give a suspect description here. So, black complexion, last seen with an iPhone, appears to be a blue coat. Let's see what kind of shoes he was wearing. That's the most important thing you have to look at. Okay, looked like he was wearing black sneakers. I could tell. Kind of looks like high tops, because I wear high tops all the time. I'm going to assume he's probably 5'9", 5'10". Somewhere around that height. I could tell he looks around that height. I could tell by a man's stature by that. So they better find this guy, because assaulting an elderly woman in her building? Let's look up where this is. I'm going to pull it up in a second. Oh, this is not a safe area. Yeah. You know what's alarming? I mean, was the woman taken... Yeah, was the woman taken to Lincoln Hospital? Yeah, because look at this. Let me show you Google Street View. I know this area. Yeah. It's right by Lincoln Hospital. My goodness, this happened right by the hospital. All I'm going to say is thank goodness this apartment building is right by Lincoln Hospital, because Lincoln Hospital does have a good ER. I will say that. Yeah, see, you pull it up right here. Yeah, I mean, they have a decent ER. It's an NYC Health and Hospital site. But still, I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You just can't. It's not too far from where Grand Concourse is. So it seems New York 1 is ignoring the Bronx. In fact, hang on. Let's see if News 12 the Bronx actually has something about it. I'm curious. Let's see. You know, it'd be annoying if News 12 the Bronx didn't cover it. Let's see. Is it on the homepage? Nope. Nothing about it. Oh, by the way, we have to talk about this. This got ignored. There was a major press conference by Mayor de Blasio today about this. And, you know, this is a big deal for people on Thrive's Neck. They finally have ferry service. In New York 1's also ignoring the Bronx. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Let's see if it's on the crime stuff. Maybe it's here. Oh my goodness. What is stories about Brooklyn doing on here? Okay, here we go. Found it. Found it. Let's see how long they spent on this. Let's see. Thank you, News 12 the Bronx. They actually spent a minute and 47 seconds talking about this.
Inside of a Bronx apartment building Thursday night. Now, the victim was rushed to the hospital, and the entire incident was caught on camera. Well, News 12's Faith Graham joins us from...
They even sent a reporter!
...with how this all unfolded. Faith.
My goodness!
Yes, Phil, talk about a scary encounter.
And they even went inside the woman's apartment.
Video that we're about to show you. It happened inside this apartment building at 485 East 180th Street just after 9 o'clock on Thursday. In that video, you can see the man walk up these stairs. He then marches over to this door and begins trying to kick it in. And tonight, we're still able to see markings along the bottom.
Wow.
He tries a few times, but he is not successful. He then comes face to face with this 48-year-old woman. Police say the pair got into a fight over the woman's roommate. You can then see the man take out what police say is a box cutter.
Oh my God.
The woman not once,
the Pix
not
11
twice,
article didn't
but
even
multiple
say that.
times across the face, arms, and hands. You can see the woman visibly extend out her arm, trying to keep him away, but still he just keeps slashing. Finally, he walks away and goes back down the stairs. This is a closer view of him. He was wearing a black beanie and a full black outfit from head to toe when it happened. Neighbors we spoke with tonight did not wish to be on camera, but they said it was very scary and all they heard was a lot of screaming.
Oh, okay, so this was a different story. Wow. Wow, so another incident in the Bronx. So that's a different story. I mean, that's misleading. Man, look how much crime is going on in the Bronx. I have to say, News 12 the Bronx is actually starting to become on point. Wow. And so much is going on in the Bronx that just getting ignored. You know? And we will get to this. I promise we will get to this later on. Okay, so let's see if anything else is on here. Yeah, we gotta talk about shootings that happened in the Upper West Side. So I'm not gonna get into it anymore. So let's go to AM New York because this is urgent. We have to talk about these two stories that that happened last night. Where is it? Okay, here are the shootings that happened last night. In fact, Channel 7 did lead off with it last night, but they didn't send a reporter. I guess because it was just breaking. So you gotta give Sandra Bookman credit for doing it last night. In fact, Sandra Bookman's been filling in this week because Bill Ritter and Shadeh Bedarawa do deserve a much-needed vacation. I mean, they've had a pretty hectic year. You know, they do deserve it. I will give them the time that they need. And, you know, when Sandra Bookman does the news by herself, she does a terrific job. You know, she should be anchoring the news by herself and not having Joe Torres bother her. Alright, so here we go. Double shooting at Queens Laundromat leaves man dead, another injured. Police are examining possible gang ties to a deadly double shooting in a Queens laundromat on Monday night to claim the life of a 25-year-old man. Law enforcement sources said that the gunfire erupted just before 8:04 p.m. on December 27th inside the J.H. Tupa Laundry at 94-01 37th Avenue. According to sources familiar with the investigation, the two victims were inside the laundromat with several unidentified individuals walked into the shop and opened fire. Officers from the 115 precinct responded to a 911 call about an assault location found Gilbert Gayoso, 25 of 38th Avenue in Corona, shot in the head. Another victim, a 21-year-old man, suffered a gunshot wound to his torso. Responding EMS members pronounced Gayoso dead at the scene. Paramedics rushed the 21-year-old man to Elmhurst Hospital, where he's listed in stable condition. No arrests have been made in the ongoing investigation. So, obviously, a homicide that got ignored in Jackson Heights. New York 1 doesn't even want to bother talking about it. You didn't see anything about it in the Queens section, didn't you? Didn't you? And then this happened on the Upper West Side last night. Thankfully, the good news is the two teens are going to be okay in this one. Police are looking for the shooters to open fire on two teenagers and injure them on the Upper West Side. Authorities said the shooting happened at 7:04 p.m. on December 27th in the rear of a building within the Federal Duckworth houses at 865 Columbus Avenue. According to law enforcement sources, the two victims were walking through the area when four unidentified individuals walked up to them and began firing shots in that direction. One of the victims, approximately age unknown, took a bullet to his stomach, while the other victim, an 18-year-old male, was struck in the abdomen and forearm. The shooters were long gone by the time officers from the NYPD 24th Precinct responded to the shooting. EMS rushed both victims to Mount Sinai Luke's Hospital for treatment. The motive for the shooting remains unknown and under investigation. There have been no arrests in the case, so let's see where this is, because I think this is too close to Washington Heights. Not Washington Heights, Harlem, excuse me. Oh yeah, this is not a good area of the Upper West Side. No. See, that's Central Park, but this is the part of the park where you kind of want to avoid. Yeah, because it's too close to Harlem. Yep. I mean, very scary. Very scary that this happened. But no surprise, this is in a NYCHA complex. So, obviously, you know what New York 1's up to. They're just ignoring us. And I don't want to make the video longer than it has to be, but we do have to get to some other stories. Here we go. Yeah, Channel 7 actually did go to this story.
An 85-year-old woman. Eyewitness news reporter Naveen Dhaliwal has the story from Mott Haven.
Yep.
On the streets of Mott Haven,
a whole minute.
Now,
Whole minute. Let's get to some subway crime going on. Here's our first story.
Celebratory last laps of the vintage New York City subway cars could soon come to a screeching halt because of vandalism. The MTA had planned a final run of the 1960s era R32 cars on 4 consecutive Sundays that began last Sunday. However, the Daily News reported that during the first run, a vandal damaged one of the car seats. The Brightliners are the last fleet of subway cars that allowed passengers to look through a large front window.
My goodness. I mean, I hope these trains do end up in the Transit Museum because, I mean, this is an important part of the city's history. And these trains actually used to be on the E train a long time ago. Before I was born, I found this out. So, let's watch this one. In fact, Naveen Dhaliwal also covered this, I think.
This is New York.
Eric Stewart takes the subway often from the 36th
Yeah, that's her
train
voice.
Station, the same place a 31-year-old man, police say, was pushed on the platform 11 in the morning Sunday. That man pulled himself off the tracks and was taken to the hospital with a possible fractured wrist.
It's crazy. That's the first thing. Things are definitely crazier.
Now a spree of subway crimes just on Sunday is causing riders' red flags to go up. The most recent, police say, this suspect fired shots inside the East Broadway subway station last night. No one was hit. Then a 29-year-old woman was stabbed just before 8 in the morning in Tribeca at the Chambers Street station after investigators say she got into a fight with a man on the A line. He punched her in the back of the head before stabbing her in the abdomen. Then, investigators say, a suspect threw unidentified liquid at a train conductor at the 77th Street station in Brooklyn around 2:30 in the morning. That MTA employee was also taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay.
It's always something happening.
So there you go. All the crime that's getting ignored by NY1. There you go. I mean, what else is there to say? So, obviously, this video is going to be long enough that it has to, but we do have to talk about one last thing. And again, thank you to Andrew Lee for making me aware of what I needed to talk about. Let's see. Just looking it up on here. Yeah! NY1 was always on at this diner. What's so embarrassing is, why didn't NY1 cover this? I used to always go to this diner when I was younger. Alright, so let's see if I can make it bigger so you can read it. You apologize. I don't know what's going on with this thing. Here we go. Let's see if I can make it bigger from here. Okay. There we go. Now you can read it. I do apologize if you are reading it on a smartphone or a tablet, but it's so tiny to read it. So let me move this a little bit to the right. Okay. Zoom out a little bit. That's better. To all loyal customers and friends, it is with much sadness that we've made the difficult decision to close our doors for good. We want to express our sincerest gratitude to all loyal customers for the past 21 years. It has been our pleasure to serve the community of Belrose and Floral Park. Belrose and Floral Park has been our home that we have grown to love. The people of this tight-knit community have welcomed us with open arms and love since the very beginning of the diner when it first opened. We cannot begin to explain how much we love and appreciate all of your support for all these years. To our wonderful staff who have dedicated their service to the diner, as well as the patrons, we cannot thank you enough. We never imagined, if possible, to have such a loyal and caring staff, many of whom have been with us since we opened our doors. We have made some lifelong friends who we considered family. We can never express our gratitude for your continued dedication to us over the past 21 years. We wish you nothing but success, health, and happiness in all of your future endeavors. This decision did not come easy for us. Unfortunately, the course of the past year and a half has taken a bigger toll on businesses than any of us could foresee. We never imagined that COVID-19 would be something we could not overcome. We tried our hardest by building an outdoor tent and working tirelessly doing takeout and delivery service to continue servicing the community. Regrettably, it just was not enough to keep us open. Though we are heartbroken that this pandemic is forcing us to close, we can only hope that everyone continues to stay safe and healthy as we ride the rest of this out. As restaurateurs, we would also like to take a moment to wish all the food establishment continued success throughout these hard times. It isn't easy, and your efforts do not go unnoticed. We will continue to support local small businesses of Belrose Floral Park and the surrounding neighborhoods. We appreciate all the wonderful people who became regulars, the entire staff, and those who became family for your continued support. Thank you for everything. With love, Thano, Donald, and Andy. So, just a very sad thing. And again, NY1 could have been covering this. Just like how the Tower Diner in Forest Hills, another business we lost in Queens, you know, what else is new? We just keep getting forgotten. It's really getting annoying. And we're sick and tired of NY1 just completely forgetting about us. So, this is the last one I have to read. Because I figured since we're on this topic of how COVID's affecting businesses, this does have to relate to crime. 5 arrested at a downtown Brooklyn Burger King following an anti-vax protest. Five maskless anti-vax protesters wound up in handcuffs Monday evening after storming a downtown Brooklyn Burger King, apparently in opposition to the city's COVID protocol. Videos posted to the Twitter account @PatriotTakes show dozens of people flooding the fast food restaurant on Fulton Street, many filming the protest on cameras and smartphones. The protest came on the day the city's vaccine mandate for private employers took effect and amid the ongoing Omicron variant-fueled surge in COVID-19 infections. Some chanted, "Let's go Brandon," an anti-Biden coded curse popular among right-wing supporters uncomfortable about using the F word in public, while one with a megaphone said, "No segregation, no discrimination." According to the NYPD, the 5 arrested were charged with trespassing after allegedly refusing to leave the burger joint after repeated requests to do so, and were issued desk appearance tickets, orders to appear in court. Right, so obviously we know what's going on. In the video, the Burger King employees are wearing masks, so that's the good news. At least the Burger King employees were wearing masks. Oh, look at this. One of the videos quoted was saying, one of the protesters said, "We are ready to go. We are ready to leave. Call the mayor. We will leave the minute the police get out of here. We are holding the line. We are not second-class citizens." And then look at this. Deputy Inspector Adele Rana, the commanding officer of the 84th Precinct in Brooklyn, tells the anti-vax crowd to leave the location. "The manager does not want you in here. We're giving you ample warning, ample time to leave." Oh, and then look at this. One of the protesters wearing a short skirt depicting civil rights icon Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was also a participant in the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol building. Oh, yep, they actually have a picture of him. Alright, so you get the idea. You get the idea. I don't need to read any more of this nonsense. But again, I shouldn't have to be covering this. NY1 should. But it seems they just don't want to. So, as I said, I'm going to keep calling this TV station out. You hear me, Spectrum? You hear me? I'm going to keep calling you out. So that's it. Thank you for watching.